from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff, to be your friend in the deep, dark night, to tell you a nearly pointless and meandering tale. Eventually, take a while to get there. Take my time getting there because I'm here to be your friend in the deep, dark night. Welcome to Sleep With Me. This show is a bit different. If you're new, you are so welcome here. And a lot of times people say that in a way, maybe I'll explain it, over-explain it in a minute, but, or in a few minutes. But I really do mean that. Like, you're so welcome here. There's no pressure to like this show, to like me, to fall asleep to it. This show is all about seeing how it goes, like an open invitation to try this show out, whether it's your first time or your like 4,000th time listening. Sure, there's people who have listened to over 4,000 times because people listen all night long. You probably listen to tens of thousands of episodes, but you're welcome here. And even my welcome is kind of like an indirect welcome because I'm not really here to engage you directly, except during these parts of the show. Like it's even an indirect welcome. I don't know how that would work. Maybe a sign, a nice sign. And there's like snacks laid out, but they say, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough thing to do, a tough thing to explain for me. So if you're new, see how it goes. This is just a bedtime story podcast with long intro that's meant to ease you into bedtime and distract you so you can fall asleep. Or so if you can't sleep, you have a nice thing to kind of barely listen to. And maybe it distracts you enough that at some point you just do fall asleep. So, yeah, and then what we got coming up, support. So paying for the podcast is optional. Then a long meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then tonight will be an episodically modular bedtime story. So, yeah, that's it. I'm really glad you're here. And we are able to be here from the listeners who benefit the most from the podcast who opt in. So particularly if you're an all-night listener, if you listen to episode after episode after episode, like 5 episodes a week, you've been listening for years, or because we don't have any international sponsors, if you're an international listener, any of those things, we could really use your support right now by opting in to support the podcast. That makes your life better. But if it doesn't, or it's just kind of like you're a casual listener, or you're not in a position to support the show, don't worry about it. If you're new, don't worry about it. So, yeah, we do that, but it's like thank you for a lot of the people that support the show don't hear these parts. Oh, no, you do. This is built in. So thank you so much. You should be gleaming with pride because I couldn't do it without you. So, yeah, what do you say? Oh, you say, well, I'm curious. What are a few ways I could opt in? Here you go. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz, because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your feel preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale happening now. This offer is exclusive for listeners to Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive 4th of July sale offer. That's 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, looking for a specific group of regular listeners, not new listeners, not occasional listeners, not people just going through a tough time. Regular listeners whose Sleep With Me makes your life better. Have you been listening longer than 6 months? Well, that means we got something special going on. You know, we got like an intermediate length relationship, right? And the show has become a part of your life. We built Sleep With Me Plus with that in mind, right? Regular listeners, people who have maybe thinking about a longer term relationship. With Sleep With Me is month to month. Sleep With Me Plus is month to month. So you could always cancel at any time. You could even do a free trial, kind of like, the first date. Try it out for 6 days. If it doesn't work, cancel it. But Sleep With Me Plus exists so the show can be here. So if you're still listening 6 months from now, 1 year from now, the podcast will still be around. So if you're able to, and you're like, yeah, I've been listening for 8 months. This podcast does make my life better. I think I could support it for another 3 months. And then if I stop listening, I'll cancel. If that rings true to you, support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But I do count on you, if you're listening and hearing me right now, not to wait and say, well, let me see in 6 months. Because right now we're trying to make sure we can make the show for the next 6 months and make sure it's out here in the public in a free ad-supported feed, listener-supported feed for everybody to benefit. But it's only when people that really value it support it back. So please consider it. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And don't forget, the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me is with sleep phones. You can get Sleep With Me merch, Sleep With Me branded sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. And use Sleep With Me at checkout to get $5 off your order. The only way you can get the Sleep With Me merch editions is sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake. Thoughts, things on your mind you're thinking about the past, present, future, thoughts that are just going. Feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally related to those thoughts, or feelings that are just there, or feelings about the past, present, or future. Surprising feelings of surprise, or so I'm surprised I'm feeling that, particularly right now when I'm trying to go to bed. I'd appreciate it if I could feel that at another point. Feelings not optional, turns out. And like there's a good time for everything. Feelings, by the way. I don't know if is this a subtweet? I don't know what that is. But is this like, they say that Scoots, that's not a thing anymore. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Is this a sub? You can't do a sub DM. But I say, by the way, feelings, there's a good time for everything. And I'd love to have you. And really, like, do a little bit of the old rain practice with you even. But probably bedtime may not, I don't have an appointment scheduling thing. But could we schedule an appointment for sometime in the future? I don't know. Feelings I've never tried that with my feelings, but we'll see. I guess we'll see how it goes. So feelings, physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something. You could be in the middle of something, anticipating something, traveling, have guests, work a different schedule. You could be preparing, getting over, or in the middle. Or just baffled. Last night I was a baffler. I can't quite pin it down, other than I was anticipating it being, I've just had an inconsistent couple weeks here. And really inconsistent, like where it's not good or it's been easy. So that's baffling. I say, that's interesting. Last night I was not even feeling that much malaise about it. But anyway, not enough about my sleep. Whatever's keeping you awake, I'm here to take your mind off of stuff and keep you company so you can fall asleep. And the only reason I go through some of the things you might be experiencing is because, I'm rooting for you, right? I may not be in the same situation that you're in, whatever's keeping you awake, but I know what it feels like for me. I know what it felt like last night. And then this morning, because it was more than multiple times I woke up, and then this morning. So I know how that felt, right? And for me, different times feel like different things. But I think I can relate to some of your feelings. But even if I can't, like my challenges with sleep, they have their own feelings and stuff. And I can maybe, it makes me root for you, really, or feel for you. Or hope I can help if I can. And the other thing, the better news is you're like, yeah, you don't get it, man. You don't know what it's like for me. A lot of times when people say that it's a negative, here, that's a positive. I say, yeah, you're right. I haven't been through that. But the great news is this podcast is big enough. There's people listening around the world. Just think about that. Somewhere in the world, maybe down the street from you or maybe across the globe, there is really someone listening to this podcast now who's been through something very, very similar, does know how it feels for you, and they are rooting for you in their mind. They're holding a place for you. They're thinking of you with ease and comfort and smiling and say, man, I hope this podcast helps you like it helped me. I'm really glad you're here. That's what I was talking about, the welcoming at the top. That's like the power behind what I'm welcoming you to. It's like this indirect community of people that get it, that get you. And that's all they hope for. They hope this podcast helps you out. That's all I hope for, too, if you're new. And then that one day you're rooting for new listeners, right? That you're holding that space for them. And sending, and think about if you're a regular listener, what it feels like, because it does feel good, a subtle good. But you say, man, smiling in a welcoming way for a new person who struggled like you have is nice. And that's why I make the show. But there's one more layer to it, which is like you deserve a bedtime where you can get the rest you need so your life is more manageable tomorrow. Where you could get the rest you need on a regular basis. Yeah, like I said, for me, that doesn't happen every night. But most of the time it does. And if I can be a part of that for you, that means I would like you to be out there living your life. and not have to struggle with bedtime or worry about it as much and say, well, at least I got that goofy podcast to listen to. So that's why I'm here. The way it works is I send my voice across the deep dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, superfluous tangents. So I go off topic, I get mixed up, I forget what I was talking about. Then I would circle back, and then I say, what was I saying? And all of it is to keep you company and take your mind off stuff. This is a podcast that you don't exactly listen to. You kind of barely listen. It's some people don't listen at all. Some people just listen to the tone of the show. Or, they have me so they can only hear me murmuring. Or English isn't their primary language, so they barely, even most people can barely understand what I'm saying. So I guess that doesn't, or it's like a TV on in the other room where you're kind of listening to it. Or a very non-interesting person who's talking to you. But in this place, there's no social compact to listen to. You say, okay, keep going about that stuff. So it's a podcast you kind of barely listen to, like an out-of-focus picture, sand running through your hands. That's one thing. The other thing is a part of that, like when you look for a sleep podcast, right, when you're looking for sleep solutions, for most of us, it's not when we're at our best. It's not when we're open-minded or calm. And so I understand that when you get here, you're going to be skeptical, doubtful, irritable. That's understandable. That's how I would approach this show. Maybe you found it through a search. Maybe somebody recommended it. Maybe you just stumbled on it, and now you got somebody talking nonsense. You're like, I thought you were going to lull me to sleep or tell me a bedtime story or work some kind of magic. And I say, well, this is close. I mean, for the people it works for, this is like magic. But it does take some getting used to. Most regular listeners who support the show said it took 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show till I realized, everything he said he was serious about. He's always going nowhere. The show is always never getting started. There's a reason the show's structured the way it is. I don't have to do anything. So just kind of see how it goes. If you figure out at some point or you already know that the show isn't for you, like I said at the top, it's strange, but you're still welcome here. And I have a website set up for you, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, where you could find other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff to help you fall asleep. So you could check that out. What else do you need to know? Okay. No pressure to listen. Oh, no pressure to fall asleep. This show is a sleep podcast that I've been making for 11 plus years, 12 years. I don't even know. I lose track. But like before sleep podcasts were a thing that, but it's not meant to put you to sleep. I guess I point that out because it's like, yeah, this is a sleep podcast where there's no pressure to fall asleep. There's a reason the episodes are over an hour, so you have no pressure to fall asleep. There's a reason there's like hundreds and hundreds of episodes in the archives, so you could listen as much as you need to, or you could pick your favorites or whatever. Because I'm here to keep you company whether you're awake or asleep and whether you're listening or not. I'm here to the very end because I know there are people listening who can't sleep at all or who need a break during the day or who get up in the middle of the night and need to listen for a little while. And I'm here to keep them company and keep you company if you're not listening to me at all. And there's something about that works. There's no pressure to listen and no pressure to fall asleep. My job is to be your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore sib, your bore bud, your neighbor war, your bore bestie, your bores, your boreman, your Boris Borloff, your neighbor, your Borby, what else? Best bore friend forever. To keep you company and take your mind off stuff, just like a service. So this show is much more of a service, which is strange, than a podcast. Because it could be, you could imagine it's like an indirect in-person service, right? We all have 1 or 2 friends that go on and on and on. And sometimes we're not really listening to them. And that's in the end what this show is trying to capture, as well as a lot of those other things. music on the wind in the summertime, across, I don't know, stuff like that. Morning doves making, nice bird sounds or other stuff that's nice. It sounds like I'm going to break into song. These are a few of the most lulling things. Sorry, that's most singing I've done in a while, but it's not too much singing. So, yeah, that's what I'm here to do. Keep you company, take your mind off stuff so you can fall asleep. And just see how it goes if you're new. The only other thing I'd like to go through to meet you where you are, if you're new or you're coming back after a couple of years, our show doesn't change much, right? We've had the same structure for a long time, and it's very specific. So the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in, you say, oh, okay, check that show out. Yeah, okay. Then there's support, so paying for the show's optional. And so everybody that works on the show, we can do that work and be here for you, ideally twice a week at least. Then separate from the support, a show within a show is our intro. It has nothing to do with the support of the show. It takes a long time, like 15 to 20 minutes, where I explain what the podcast is unsuccessfully or in a non-succinct way. I don't know. Is succinctless a lack of being succinct? Succinct. That's what that'd be a joke. That's the punchline. What do they call scoots in a rowboat? Succinct or leaky rowboat. It's shallow. Don't worry. It wasn't just sunk to the bottom of the bog. Now I'm just sitting in a nice warm bog talking to you. Succinct. Somebody remind me of that. Does sound like it's very Sleep With Me podcast. Succinct. It doesn't even make any sense, but it's mildly entertaining. So the intro goes on and on and on. It follows a familiar structure, but every intro is different. And it's the kind of time we get to hang out. You get to know me a little bit better in an indirect way. And we see what goofy stuff comes up, like succinct. It's like Esorum East or something, or Amosan, succinct. I don't know what is that a congregation? It's a congregation of words, I think, of letters. Thanks, brain. See, like I can just be myself. We hang out, but the intro is also meant not just to introduce you what the podcast is, but to ease you into bedtime. So there's a small percentage of people that fall asleep during the intros. There's also Sleep With Me, bedtime stories from Sleep With Me that has no intros. But for most people, they're either getting comfortable, getting cozy, doing a wind down activity, getting ready for bed, or chilling. Because that's I've seen it work in my own life, and it's what the studies say, like having a bedtime routine to ease you into bedtime is what works. So that's the purpose of the intro, and to spend time together, I guess, like as an indirect community, and then you fall asleep later. Now, if you fall asleep during the intro, that's fine too. But most people like listening to this ad-supported version linearly, and then the people that support the show, I guess most people listen still to the main ad. Anyway, not important. So that's the intro. Then there's support. Then there'll be our episodically modular series, Get Besos, Big Farm in the Sky, PI. And that's it. And I'll be here about an hour. I'm really glad you're here. It really means a lot to me to be able to help out people that are in the same place I've been in as recently as last night. And I do it with the support of other people that benefit from the show. So it's amazing, and thank you, because we really do this thing together, and I couldn't do it without you. I wouldn't, It's like I'd only make the show if there's people that benefited from it, right? So yeah, it's funny. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. I really work hard. So do a team of people to bring you these episodes. We yearn and we strive. We really want to help you fall asleep. So thanks again for coming by. And if you decide you want to be a part of this, you say, I do listen all night. I've listened for years. I do benefit from the show. I listen to 5 episodes a week. How can I help? These are the ways you can. Thanks. All right, everybody, we're talking about tonight's sponsor, Quince. And I don't know how you like to spend your nights, but I got to ask you about your bedding and your sheets, right? How do you feel about them? Because Quince has options for you. They've got buttery soft sheets like the ones I got for my daughter to take to college. They have those crisp percale sheets. And now I'm looking at the hype of the Quince European linen, and I'm thinking, Scoots, it might be time to up your sheet game even more. Quince European linen sheets are light, breathable, and super soft with that perfectly lived-in vibe. Woven from 100% European flax linen, they have that heirloom quality that gets softer with each wash. And as I said, the same thing goes for their ultra plush duvets, quilts, pillows, and shams too. Quince has everything you need to level up your bed. But I didn't even get to the best part. Just like Quince's clothing, their bedding is half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost to the middle person and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Now, like I said, I have the Quince percale gingham bedding right now in my bed, but wow. This European flax linen really sounds nice for summertime. And I already, in my shopping cart on Quince, I have a black short sleeve linen shirt. So I might as well add the bedding to it. Let your bed match the season with cool, relaxed bedding from Quince. Go to quince.com/sleep to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince. QUINCE.com/sleep to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. Welcome to our episodically modular series. Get Besos, a big farm in the sky. PI. Pretty long title for a series. And that's because it's pretty long, meandering series. So Big Farm in the Sky, PI, Get Besos is a tale of Richard Warren and James Cash, who lived, they were once titans of retail industry. Then they moved on from the earthly realm to a post-earthly realm. And they were spending their post-earthly realm at a place called, well known as Limbo, Purgatory, or the Beige World. And while they were there, they noticed there was a new titan of retail industry, online retail. And Richard Warren did not appreciate that. This person named Jiff. And he said, I think we should return to Earth and speak with Jiff. I got to give him a strong wording piece of my mind. As a mentor, as a non-positive mentor, I think, to be honest. And James Cash, his best friend, said, I don't know if that's a great idea, Richie, because we were assigned to live in the beige world for an indeterminable amount of time. And as titans of retail it is not known until I guess I'm telling you this now. They say, well, those rules may not apply to us. So they left their post-earthly realm, returned to Earth to track down Jiff. And in this particular situation, it ended up that Jiff did not go to the Earth. That Jiff was also searching post-earthly realms because Richard Warren had also decided, not only do I need to speak with Jiff, I also want to find people that are in post-earthly, non-positive post-earthly realms, particularly people that are in eternal non-positive earthly realms, and say, I don't know if they should be there. Maybe I'll take them and say, hey, I'm going to take you with me. Sisyphus is a perfect example. Though Richard Warren gets Sisyphus confused with other post-earthly beings. And, I guess that's the most straightforward way to explain it. He said, hey, let's go, Sisyphus, hey, we're going to sneak out here. And that's as far as the plan actually goes with Richard Warren. And at some point, he had made a list of all the people he wanted to rescue, I guess that's a safe word to say here, to bring them to safety. or he didn't actually, he just wanted to get them out. Like, he just went, he's like, I've decided I'm going to do this. But he also had made a list that he gave to Jiff. But he didn't remember, he didn't make a copy of the list. So he doesn't have a copy of the list. He doesn't know where Jiff is. He still wants to give Jiff multiple stern talking tos and to get people out of their post-earthly existences. So then he was so unsuccessful that he said, let's hire that Big Farm in the Sky PI to help us track Jiff down. And so the Big Farm in the Sky PI has been serving that same thing. Where in the post-earthly realms could Jiff, where could our little Jiffy be? And Big Farm in the Sky PI works with G and DK. They're earthbound humans, but he's able to interact with them. And also, they live in Florida. At their place in Florida is a cloud-based woman, like a goddess or a demigoddess. Her ex-husband, who was post-earthly being that they did remove, like they got him out of his realm. One of his sons, also all of her children, or not a large number of her children, which are horse lords and horse ladies. And, but it ends up that they were trying to get her ex-husband's son, but they got the wrong son. So currently, the Big Farm in the Sky PI is trying to track down the other son of, Nefel and, no, not Nefel. He's trying to track somebody down so that he can track down Jiff. And, I think that's basically, he'll catch up on everything else, I think. But yeah, that's it. And we're always happy to have our Hollywood announcer who comes all the way, stored solar and wind energy, comes here. He's like a cool breeze on a warm day and a warm breeze on a cool day. He's as refreshing as a breeze. Also, probably when he's trying to be quiet, makes a bit more noise than a breeze. But it's not a breeze for him to get here. Oh boy, is he dedicated to the listeners of this podcast. And I do want to note, he doesn't want me to say this. He does drive himself. I'm sure there's occasions where he's driven, but when he comes here, he's doing the driving, and because he cares. As I like to say, he's one of the greater things of the greater Los Angeles area. He's one of the greater things. There's plenty of other things, but I don't want to start singing. Anyway, this is our Hollywood announcer, Mr. Antonio Banderas. Thank you. So friends beyond the binary, so ladies and gentlemen, so boys and girls, it's time to find out what's going on with the Big Farm in the Sky PI and get Besos. Yeah. Wow, thanks, Antonio. That was excellent as always. This is Get Besos, Big Farm in the Sky PI, everybody. It's also episodically modular. Forgot all about that part, which means if this is your first episode, you can listen to these in any order, because I just tried to catch up on everything, and then everything before this is a prequel. You could listen, you could fall asleep and barely pay attention, and then listen to them in order. But all the episodes are in all of our podcast feeds. So if you want to listen to this whole season, you can, or you could fall asleep to it or barely pay attention to. But this is, take it away. All right, Diane, it's me, and I'm here, and I have a task, Diane, to do. We're trying to track down this son. But now, so what happened, Diane, was, so we had brought Nefel's ex-husband's son to him. We had got Pithy. We had got him out of his post-earthly realm, along with Nefel's, all her horse lords and horse ladies. And then, here's the thing, Diane, we had to bring them all to Florida, to the real Florida. Like, I can't, I'm a bit miffed because I can't actually go to Florida and inhabit myself and I can be with G and DK in ethereal ways, Much like that famous U2 song, you know, I do move when I'm on Earth. I move in ethereal ways, Diane. But for some reason, because Nefel's a goddess, also, I don't know, but they're in Florida, and this was not a good idea to bring them to a condo of two young women who have jobs. And luckily, their condo's I guess it's not it's a townhome, maybe, Diane, because it's not it's noisy. So we have a variety of horse lords and horse ladies, and two figures from mythology, neither of which was super beloved, I would say. Or I shouldn't say that, Diane. That's my feelings. But they were not super well behaved. And unfortunately, as you can imagine, G&DK went to work. They said, okay, here's the house rules. I have no control, Diane, because I'm only ethereal. And here's our spare key, but don't do this. No one listened. Nefel, so I can't even call them at work to text them and say, oh, well, interesting thing. Your neighbors may have heard some, So basically here in Florida where G&DK are, Nefel is trying to get the Ion or whatever his name is, Ion and his son, they're riding around with horse lords and horse ladies in this big retirement community in Florida, Diane. And Nefel, but it's not because I'm supposed to be finding this other son. That's what they set out to do. I said, the son's not here. He's in a post-earthly realm. Now, Nefel is a goddess, cloud-based being. I'm sure she'll fix everything. But I'm supposed to figure out where the son, who is the son? Normally, I would have G&DK helping me, Diane. And I think that's my point, is that it's going to take a while. And so right now, Diane, the situation is so I have this cloud-based thing I can look into that supposedly will help me find the son that I have no idea who he is, where he is. Also, somehow he's tied in with Jif. I don't know. Okay, so I basically look into this cloud. It's like a tablet, Diane. Okay, so I'm looking here, and a picture is coming into focus. Okay, it looks like a large building. In the foreground, Diane, is a table with drinks. They could be orange soda, and some fruit, a candle. Maybe an ice sculpture. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10-sided ice sculpture with a star in the middle. I don't know. Fancy table, Diane. It's got a tablecloth. Then there's two people. So this, I guess, is a photograph or a painting. There's someone in a sport coat back there. But in the foreground, after the table, is two gentlemen speaking. They seem to be having some kind of conversation. One gentleman is holding a cane. He's wearing what could be considered a cape or a rug or a robe. He has on a vest as well, long beard, and a top hat. He does not look like Santa Claus, but maybe if he took his hat off, he might. Oh, actually, it looks like he's wearing a suit. So he's in some sort of somewhat formal wear. He's talking to someone that does look like a wizard, like a full-on cloak with a hooded cloak. And the wizard's holding a drink. Though I'm just assuming he's a wizard because I don't know why. Okay, in the background, okay, so it's a large building. You could kind of see the ceiling. And up on the ceiling are banners. I can't make out the banners. And then in the background are other people. So this is some sort of event or a station. Okay, over the left, behind the wizard on the left side is some sort of presentation. And there's other people standing around talking. Lots of people. People in suits. People in cloaks. People in hats. What else, Diane? I can't say that I see anything else that's helping me. I don't know. Let's go to the, oh boy. Wait a second, Diane. Okay. Okay, this next picture is outdoors. I mean, I assume. This is I don't know how these pictures are. Maybe these pictures aren't related. Okay, this one's outdoors. There's a lot of lanterns. So it's maybe sunset. Tough to tell. Also seems like maybe sunrise. Because there's so it's some sort of community meal or a group meal. It's another large gathering, and in the foreground of this photo is a table with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 10 place settings. There's food on the table. I guess it's a POV shot. We're sitting, there's some pastries in front of us, drinks that look like sparkling orangeade. There's also tea or coffee cups, possibly. And a woman in some sort of robe. She's talking to a person, a being, a non-earthly being, who is glowing. Also, the chairs everybody's sitting in seem to be glowing. And in the background are other people eating together, talking. A lot of, smile. The woman and the person, the non-earthly, the glowing being, somewhat translucent glowing being, is talking to the woman. She's smiling, and they're making a point with their finger. In the background, there is stuff being brought to tables. Most of the people are talking pleasantly, a lot of smiling, and some people standing in the background. Maybe they're getting up from eating. Tough to say, out of focus, Okay, so, but I mean, I guess the two things they have in common are gatherings. I mean, there was the wedding that the horse lords and horse ladies and Pithy were at, but this doesn't seem, it could be a wedding, but I don't see a state. I don't know. I guess it could be a wedding. Okay, Diane, this one, oh boy, another photograph. I think this is another POV photograph. It's taken by a person standing. I guess it doesn't have to be, like someone took the picture, obviously, but they're not in the picture. So are these pictures that, of the sun? I don't know. Okay, but this is a table. Okay, Diane, I do have another clue. Okay, this is a table, and there's someone sitting at the table. They seem to be working. On the table are a lot of, there's a lot of glowing stuff, Diane. There's something that looks like a giant glowing crystal. There's glowing balls. There's very fancy, really fancy keys. There's a couple fancy books where the covers are glowing. And then there's 1, 2, 3 circles or spheres that are glowing. 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 orange. And they each have a different shape in them or different light patterns, almost... remember Spencer's Gifts, Diane? This is not like that, but they would have different things, different cool lights, like a plasma light or lava light or a lightning light. But these ones look like if there was a Spencer's Gifts for incredibly wealthy people or a modern version of that. But also sitting at the table, one of the things, we'll just call them light spheres, is on another, almost like a work table. And there's a gentleman in blue. He seems to be either working on it or explaining some other element about it. And then gathered around his table, like one gentleman is leaning on the table, and then there's another, a man and a woman, and they're looking at it. They're like watching him and watching one of the spheres as if he's explaining it, like almost like he's a craftsperson and he's explaining how it works, or he's telling them something. They're really interested. They're leaning in. And, but the clue, Diane, is all three of the people leaning in, the gathered around, they have lanyards around their neck with badges, like name badges from a conference. So that's a clue, Diane, that this is a conference. Then over behind the gentleman working in the background is our other tables set up. They're a little bit out of focus, but there's someone with a backpack like standing at one table. I see another lanyard. And then there's like vinyl or plastic behind the tables in the background. They seem to be like a mural. One of someone that also looks like a wizard. And then on the other side, something that looks like similar to these spheres, just different colors. So maybe this is some sort of, I don't know, like a crystal fair, Diane? I don't know, it looks, or like an RPG fair? Oh boy, Diane. Okay, then, oh boy. The next couple pictures are all from parties. I just skipped ahead because the first one... Holy cow. All right. This seems to be a party, Diane. Okay. Oh, boy, Diane, we got another clue. Okay. So this, again, is a picture someone took. They're not in the picture, so no selfies. This has the same kind of paper lanterns as the community meal that looked like a wedding from earlier, but it's nighttime. And this is some sort of party atmosphere. I can't tell if it's a bar. So there's two people sitting in chairs, two beings, Diane, non-earthly beings. There's a table with some food and drinks on it, an open book. So it kind of looks like, but the chairs are really comfortable, like the kind of chairs you'd sit around a table and talk at. And then there's other people in the background talking. And one of these two beings they're both human-esque. She seems to be a crystalline being, and she's very fancily dressed, and she's kind of laughing or amused. And the other person on the other side seems to be, their drink actually is glowing too. And they're talking. They seem to be like like a canine-based, I don't know how to describe this stuff, Diane. Anthropomorphized, partial canine, partial demigod, maybe. And they, so I don't know if this is, I don't think it's a space station, Diane, but, because I don't know, no one looks like they look like they're from another world, but not outer space. Okay, next picture's from the same party. And this one, there's another person. She seems to be a frost-based being. She's eating a cake pop, which is interesting. You know, a cake pop that comes on a stick, Diane? And... there's the same lanterns. This seems like a little bit late. This conversation's more subdued. This person is, the other being is also, there's like, again, tables with drinks and fruits and food. There's a lot of candles and everything. This person's drinking, but it's not as amusing a conversation, but I'm not tense, like there's no tension either, but they're having a conversation. Maybe this is even like 4 a.m. and they're winding down. I don't know. Okay, Diane. This one is next one is also a gathering, different location than the other ones. This gathering, I think I can say, is in a conference center because it has pillars. It has conference center style windows lining one wall. A lot of people there. A lot of people. Everybody's sitting, or most people. Oh no, there's people standing in the background, moving or walking. But there's a lot of sitting going on, and a lot of different beings, not just Earth-based beings. This also seems to be a more casual party. And there's also like glowing purple trees that are around the room for decoration. And people just having a conversation. Okay, I got another picture from another party, probably from the same night as the other two, just because it has the same lanterns. But this seems to be more of a private room or private tent. But again, people having drinks. Someone that looks like a wizard. Someone that, I don't know, a lot of interesting beings, Diane. Also a lot of drinking going on. And discussions. Okay, this is, so again, Diane, I'm having trouble. The only thing that links some of the pictures is the conference. So some kind of conference, maybe with after parties. Okay, this one seems like a breakfast picture. Again, eating, drinking. Oh, you notice, I don't know if those are lotus flowers, Diane, but I've seen a lotus flower in 1, 2, 3, scroll up 4, 5. So more than half the pictures, Diane, have lotuses. I think that's a lotus flower. I have to look that up. This one is, again, it could be a conference, like a meet and greet. This one has a lot of people in robes, varying kinds. A couple people drinking coffee or out of coffee cups. There's still glowing stuff. And mostly humans in this one, Diane, but can't guarantee it. And then a lot of glowing lights and stuff. Okay, next photo. Okay, we got the similar glowing crystals, glowing orbs, candles. I see a sign that says sigil grits. I don't know what that means. That's on one of the tables. This one, again, has like booths or tent booths set up, and then people seem to be shopping at them. So, again, like similar to a farmer's market or a conference hall. This seems to be being held in some sort of, there's like some ethereal light coming out of the background. So maybe this is, I don't know, it seems a lot of this stuff is high-end looking. And then there's a big sign, but I can't read it, strung between two of the poles. Okay, Diane, is this the same room or a different room? This is like another room, tables, glowing liquids, purple, red, orange, green, Roy, no yellow, but otherwise Roy G. Biv. Some humans and non-human beings interacting, people looking at stuff. And then there's like it looks like a wizard working on some sort of, I don't know. There's there's a wand. There's some sort of writing on the table, and then there's glowing stuff coming out of it. Also, a lot of glowing crystals, Diane. Orange, purple, blues, and a lot of hanging tapestries with symbols on them. And these booths are a little fancier, just like the last picture. Okay, this one is taken from high up above. In the center of the room, there seems to be a magical, what I would call a magical portal or fountain. It looks like, circular fountain with steps, but it has like some sort of glowing circular pattern. but then around the room, like this is maybe shot from the second or third floor, like a balcony looking down. And it has the tables like kind of like you'd expect to see in, I don't know, kind of like the tables, like the booths we were seeing maybe from a different angle. I don't know. I guess it could be one of these other pictures is taken. There's a lot of people, a lot of like, candlelight, glowing stuff. So magical crystal festival must be Diane, because now I'm at another table covered in velvet with different fancy keys on it. And there's a gentleman looking at a key. The key is glowing. Some of the keys are glowing. The one he's holding is glowing like orange, but there's other ones glowing blue and purple. And in the background, there's more people. This one seems like it's after nightfall. Maybe this is a night market. Okay, another one picture taken of two gentlemen working on glowing. These ones seem like crystal balls. There's some glowing crystals. Oh, yeah, it's out of focus, but each crystal has a card in front of it, maybe with a price or a name. And, yeah, there's two gentlemen, like, working at the booth. Like, it seems like they're tuning the, whatever they're called. What do they say they are? Magic ball, crystal balls? Glowing crystal balls, so, Diane. Okay, Diane, next one is interesting. Clearly, this is a conference hallway, and there's people in the hallway, but not all earthly people. Some people from different mythologies, beings from different mythologies. The rug has kind of mythological symbols in it, and then there seems to be booths advertising stuff on the sides of the thing. But it's clearly like a conference center. Okay, now we have a conference room, and there's a presentation going on, and it says Baron something, and then Gatekeeper something something. Oh, there's a bird-based being in there, Diane. Oh, wow, there's a lot of different, maybe some kind of plastic, and then two different bird-based beings. Yeah, a lot of different non-earthly beings in there. Some people have their laptops open. Other people have paper and pen. It's a conference table. There's one person presenting, maybe one person doing the tech for the room. They have a thing. It has the same glowing circular symbol. A lot of glowing blues. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 13 attendees. One attendee's standing up, or maybe they're part of the presentation. I don't know. And there's like a, what do you call that? Like a big easel with a big pad on it for writing down notes, like presentation. Next up, Diane, so we know this is some sort of conference type thing. So the sun is at a conference or something to do with the conference. This is another conference meal, I'm assuming. There's a buffet. There's a really cool background mural, glowing purple, some planetoid. And then there's people sitting around. It's not really in good focus, so I can't. There's definitely there's earthly and non-earthly beings, including a couple. I don't know if those are in the mural or in the room, like an ANGEL, maybe even, not an angle. Another glowing lotus flower. This one's green, though. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a lotus as part of the, but yeah, everybody's just eating. Nothing identifiable. Okay, this is another one, definitely in a conference hall, eating. Person has a cappuccino. There's a lot of glowing stuff again. Another lotus flower. Yeah, they have a placemat. There's a hamburger, so that's interesting. It's the first piece of food I've been able to identify. Other than there's a lot of pomegranates, too. Orange. Yeah, they seem to be having burgers. So maybe this is lunch, again, in a packed, very big hall full of people. But again, seems organized. Seems like everybody's eating, enjoying themselves. Okay, Diane, this is another presentation. This kind of looks like when you go to like an art fair, there's walls with art on it and people walking. Some people have backpacks. It does seem to be in a conference center. But in the foreground, someone's taking a picture of a table and a person presenting another glowing orb, as well as fancy books. And they're holding a smaller version. They're holding their hand out by the bigger glowing orb saying, yeah, this is what I'm presenting or whatever. Okay, Diane, again, another hint. This is a conference hallway with some like some booths outside in the hallway. This is a casual shot. A lot of people with crossed arms standing around. One person's talking. Very diverse of the humans, the styles, and the non-humans. There's someone with a vestigial, they still have a couple of people still have their vestigial things. And everyone's talking. This one seems maybe they're having a little bit more serious conversation, but nothing too intense. And then again, I can see in the background people have conference badges and backpacks and stuff like you'd expect. Some people are in business casual, but some people seem to be from other realms. So, you could see robes, cloaks, uniforms, many, many styles, Diane. I do see a sign that's out of focus, but it does say Symposium. So we know that we're Gatekeeper's Symposium. Okay, this is another table full of looks like a shot of the buffet. More lotus and looks like desserts. And it just looks like they got a shot of the buffet. And one of their, I don't think it's them, but there's a hand coming in off camera to grab a dessert. Another shot of the buffet. It's probably the one where there's the same lanterns, a drink. Ooh, that looks delicious. A lot of fruits, lotuses. Okay, this one. Oh, Diane, I've got something here. I've been seeing numbers too. Number 9, number 30, but those could just be from the conference center. Okay, but this one is someone taking notes with a fancy pen. They're not the one taking the picture, but they're taking notes about advanced portal maintenance, and they seem to be attending something. So, yeah, this is a conference. There's people in the front row paying attention, watching some sort of either projection or a gigantic being making a presentation. And then there's a lot of symbols, like runes. I don't even know, Diane. Oh, maybe those are portals interconnecting. I don't know a lot about portal management. The number 9's there a few times too. Number 2. And so advanced portal management. Okay, we've got another conference table. This one does not look very earthly, though. This is this is in the fancier part of the conference center or something, Diane. Maybe I don't know. This seems like very official. Everybody's gathered around the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 beings. They seem to be having a serious conversation. They have a table that looks like the same portal thing. There's planets floating above their table and other portal symbols. There's also giant tapestry banners with what seem to be gods and goddesses. Okay, Diane, this one's another class. So somebody's taking notes. This one does look like it's a point of view one. And it says, so there's a room full of people paying attention. And then there's a gigantic movie theater-sized screen. and projected on it is a bridge, and then portals and other laser type things. But this one clearly says building bridges, not walls. And then this person's taking notes, and they're talking about building bridges, universal, rebuilding trust across pantheons, practical steps for gatekeeper collaboration. They have compassion written down twice. Okay, so this is a presentation about building bridges, not walls, gatekeeper collaboration. Wait, so we saw there's other things about the gatekeeper, right, Dan? Let me see what I can go back. Gatekeepers come up before, and gatekeeper symposium, gatekeeper symposium. Okay, so let me just keep going, Dan. I'm still digging here. I wish it's like hard without G and TK. It moves a lot slower. Okay, this is another one. This seems to be their cool. This is another like screen, so maybe another presentation. It's a little bit out of focus, but it's like a hand holding a lotus flower, another lotus floating on the water. Something about memory. Oh, whoa, the guiding souls without losing yourself. Balancing forgetfulness and identity, emotional resiliency, and there's other stuff. So the role is something of the memory. I don't know, Diane. Clearly this is some sort of conference. Oh, yeah, here's another presentation after that. Oh, this one it's clear, Diane. This one says Gatekeepers of the Afterlife Cross-Realm Interactive Tour. Then I can't read something about pathways, but there seems to be some sort of cosmic map, and someone's actually using a laser pointer to point at things. Oh, and there's, different afterlife stops I've even heard of, Diane. Like even ones we've been to, or Richard Warren and James Cash have been to. So this is kind of a map of a tour. Okay, this is another class, Gatekeepers of the Afterlife. So this is the conference, Diane, Gatekeepers of the Afterlife, Advanced Portal Maintenance, and then stuff about energy, something about energy alignment, energy technique, portal maintenance and energy alignment. So this must be a class. There's people sitting. This person's taking notes again. Oh, wow. This is the Gatekeepers of the Afterlife. So that's the conference. This one is Escapees and Break-ins, Diane. Talks about containment scenarios. There's like different, again, drawings that I'm not familiar with. Maybe portals or runes. I don't know. And this seems to be, some sort of another presentation. Okay, this is a round table working across pantheons. So again, in more of a collaborative one. And they have different, like, fancy buildings, and the person's there. Okay, then another room where people are, like, doing some sort of demonstration with this kind of, I don't know, Diane, these circles, glowing circle stuff. Oh, boy, Diane, this one's a party shot. And this one's, this looks like a good time. This one looks like it must be one of the big parties or something. And there's a glowing table, looks like a kind of table, like glowing neon lights. Everybody's smiling and laughing, a lot of drinks. One of the canine, there's like a rabbit-based being, canine-based being, maybe the crystalline being from earlier. And everybody's having a good time. Oh, wow, this is an interesting one, Diane. Cross-realm gateways. This is a big bridge. And it's like all these bridges intersecting, and it has different destinations, kind of like on the tour. And people are even pointing at the like image being projected. So I guess that's a class or thing. Is this another one from the slide we saw, or is this a different one about the escapees and break-ins? Maybe that's who's presenting it, Baron something. I don't know. Another shot, casual conference shot of three beings interacting and having tea and coffee. Okay, then some sort of ceremony. There's a lot of giant statues of different beings, glowing sky, glowing portal. Everybody's sitting, holding candles. Okay, so maybe that's like the open. I don't know, because then there's not. Now I'm looking at this one, and it's probably carryover from that party shot. It's like a full gown ball, and it looks really nice. Like it's in a grand ballroom with night sky, chandeliers. Everyone's dressed up. You can't say if it's a masquerade ball or not, Diane, because not everybody's human. So it's like, but some people, I do see tuxedos and just fancy gowns and fancy wear all together. Really fancy, Diane, and everyone's posing for, it must have been the official picture. Okay, this one, the next picture is some sort of class in a workshop. People are working on the floor on, again, some sort of glowing circle with like weird letters and stuff. And someone's teaching the class. Some people are working at tables. Some people are working on the glowing stuff on the floor. So maybe they're learning how to make that or fix it or something. Okay, then another giant meal. This one with giant beings also eating at the meal, like not at the main table. And there is an angel making some sort of presentation, it does seem to be, as well as other beings, not just angels. And then, these are the opening shots of this thing. Okay, so this must be the opening keynotes so there's a giant stage, a packed room full of people. And there seems to be a lot of people on stage getting presented or interacting with something, and then a central figure. Really, they spared no expense with this conference. And then, another one. This could be a marketing shot or a projection, or it could be real, but it says Afterlife Symposium. Has these giant gates. There's the painting in the background, unless it's real, is like these planetoids and glowing arches. There's giant statues, some giant beings that don't look like statues, and attendees. Like maybe this is when you walk in, or maybe it's just like a greeting poster. Oh no, there's registration desks, Diane. So this must be the first entry into the symposium. Oh, I guess I was looking at the pictures in reverse, maybe, or maybe they're out of order. So that's the last picture, Diane. So I guess we have everything. I mean, until G and DK get here, when Nefel gets back, or if I could get a hold of. So this person is at. So Pithy's brother is at a conference, or was at a conference, or works at a conference, or runs a conference. The Gatekeepers of the Afterlife Conference, or a Symposium. So I guess that's the information I have now, and I guess I'm just going to have to wait and hope that G&DK's place is pretty clean, though. So at least hopefully their neighbors, like Nefel, can cleanse their neighbors' memories of the horse lords and horse ladies running around. But I guess now's a good time for me to take a rest. Thanks, and good night, Diane. Everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message. So if you're still hearing me and listening to me, I hope this show is a part of your life, and it brings you comfort, even when it can't help you fall asleep. Or maybe most nights it keeps you company, helps you fall asleep, distracts you, your boyfriend, And if the show does make your life better, makes your life a little bit easier, even in the depths of the night, like right now when we're just hanging out and plenty of episodes ready to go, I hope you'll consider supporting the show back. You know, Sleep With Me Plus is how we're able to be here night after night after night, and the listeners who support the show at any level for any amount of time, the show is a regular part of your life. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And if you're chilling with me now today, why not try it out right now? You could try a 7-day trial, get all the bonus content set up tomorrow, see what you think, take 5-6 days. If it isn't the best way you've listened to the show, there's an entire podcast full of ad-free full episodes. There's an entire podcast full of story-only episodes. Those also don't have ads. And then there's a bonus podcast full of really, really cool stuff. And if you're a Boar friend or a Boar best, you also get a podcast full of all-night episodes and all intro episodes. So please think about it. If you say, no, I can't support the show right now, I could still use your vote, yes, to keep making the show. Because just moving on from this message, if you're listening to me and you're saying, no, I'm not going to do anything, that's a no for me to keep making the show. And that's just a reality. The show is at a point right now where without the support of the listeners, we can't keep going. So if you can't support the show financially, you have two options. If you still want to be a part of something, you want access to ad-free episodes, you want the show to be here next year, the year after that, join the referral program at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And refer people to the free podcast. You'll get rewarded for it. Their lives will be better because you'll be helping them out. And it'll be a huge, huge boost to the show. It's way better to support the show through the referral program than telling me, yeah, one day Scoots will support the podcast financially, but now right now it just doesn't work. I'd rather you support the show right now through the referral program so we can keep making the show. So please consider that. Or just decide you're not going to support the show and fill out the form. You say, no, I'm not. I want you to keep making the show. Yes, I am a super listener. Yes, but I'm not. I don't want to support the show financially, and I don't want to do any help out via the referral program. I don't want to help out, but I do want you to keep making it, and I have a good reason for it. You probably have a good reason for it. Fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. Because if we get 1,500 people in the referral program and then 1,500 people or something that say, nah, I want you to keep making it, but I'm not going to support it. It says to me that I should find a way to keep making this free podcast, even if it's going to be tough, because there's people willing to spread the word about the show. And there's people who are willing to say, yes, keep making it. I'm not going to support it, but keep making it. It's important enough for me. It's important enough to me that I took the time to make a choice and say, no, I'm not going to support it, which is 1,000 times more powerful than just tuning me out or ignoring me, or saying, yeah, I'll help the podcast one day, or I'll say no one day. That day may never, Sleep With Me might not make it to that day without one of those three actions. If you take one of those three actions, you could have full confidence. And not only are you a super listener, but you're a super listener that's invested your time back into the podcast and makes your life better. Thanks. And now we got the audio news, which we haven't done in a while. So this is what we got coming out on Sleep With Me Plus. A lot of this stuff will be coming out in the ad-supported feed as well. 1357 was a balcony brick building episode as part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser for the Trevor Project. Then we had Ray covering Horizons, the extinct Epcot attraction. That was also in as part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser. Let's see. We had a repeat of a classic episode, Hamlet with Brainbots. That's a really good one. Where I got out of the house. Great British Bake Off 6, Japanese Week. Then Bernie returns to the show after a long absence, even for a recording he never showed up to. And he does his reinterpretation of the story I told. So you could either sleep through it or wonder what Bernie's version is. That's Cat on Yarn. Then a classic TNG episode, Fistful of Datas. or Datus, you know. Then Besos 11, Big Farm in the Sky, Besos 11. Then something 2. I can't read my handwriting. Friend 2? No. Fox 2? Huh, interesting. An episode. Oh, Frankie and Victor, part 2. Then Jenny, the new username generator. One of my favorite episodes I've ever done. And then a 4th of July all intro episode. That's what we got coming up. But we're also deep into subscriber summer. So if you listen on Sleep With Me Plus, if you're a Sleep With Me Plus subscriber and you're listening to this, one, if you ever need any help at all, just send an email to our support team, support@supercast.com. But also all those episodes are going to be in the ad-free full episode feed and the story-only feed. So all those are going to be coming out. What else we got? So if you're a Boar friend or a Boar bestie, you have the all intro all night feed. There's an all intro that comes out on June 5th. June 12th, the all night Boredom Institute episode. And they're called all nights, but they're around 4 hours long just because of the file sizes. We can't make them any longer than that. And then an all intro episode comes out after that. And then in the bonus feed, subscriber summer is in effect. So in the bonus feed, we got Posty 189 came out June 11th. Oh, no, not June 11th. June 11th, first subscriber summer episode, I think, comes out. Archie McPhee catalog. I think I read through 3 different Archie McPhee catalogs. Then Posty 190. Then Ray on a balcony in Anaheim. Holy cow, I can't wait for that. Right, Ray? And then either Frank episode 12 or episode 14, depending on which level you support the show at. So a lot of great stuff. If you support the show on Sleep With Me Plus and you're hearing this, thank you so much. Could not do it without you. Remember, you could always get a hold of support@supercast.com. Make sure you are either on our Discord or subscribe to the Sleep With Me Plus newsletter. You've gotten we've been sending out emails about it. And yeah, you can always reach out to me anytime through the contact form on our website. Anybody can. Can't do without all of you. I'm happy to be here to put you to sleep. And thanks so much for listening, and good night.